Today, let's talk about stress management, stress tolerance, our ability to manage the stuff that comes at us day after day after day. But today, I want to talk about people who struggle with it. I want to talk about individuals who have high levels of stress management, stress tolerance, resiliency. See, here's the thing. Oftentimes, individuals like that can take a lot of shit that comes at them. And it looks like it doesn't faze them. In fact, they may even think, I got it. I can tolerate it. I can eat it. But the reality is their bucket for shit absorption is just bigger than yours or mine. And inevitably what happens is every piece is a drop in that bucket. And every piece left unresolved, left emotionally raw, begins to stack and fill that bucket. Now, what might be better, what might be worse? Having a smaller bucket that fills quickly and then you need to empty it and resolve it and start again, or a really big bucket that a lot of stuff can fill into, and when it's full, that explosion is catastrophic. So here's where we get to think a little bit about, can I really eat the stress and the crap that's coming at me all day long? For days on end, for weeks on end, for months on end? Can I really do that and not be impacted by it? Because one drop in the bucket has impact. If we have a high level of stress tolerance, we just might not notice it. If we have a low level of stress tolerance, we'll notice it. And other people around us will also notice it because we'll show those signs of I'm stressed out, I'm anxious. For all of us, what's really necessary is being able to understand every single trigger that contributes to a stress response. And when those triggers come our way, to resolve them immediately, to be mindful of them, to notice them, to observe them, to resolve them. Because we really don't need anything in our bucket. The more we let things come in our bucket, the more we risk filling that bucket up and then responding with toxic behaviors, responding with self-sabotaging behaviors even. And the next time we come forward into that interaction with that person that put a drop in our bucket, we will carry that with us, even though we think, it didn't bother me. It didn't interrupt our trust. It didn't interrupt our relationship. The truth is that it does. Sometimes we're just lying to ourselves and saying that it doesn't, because we want to be this kind of person who can manage it all, who can tolerate it all, and I'm a strong oak, nothing blows me over. As human beings in human psychology, it all does. Some, it's a death by 1,000 paper cuts. Others, it's a death by one. The important piece, especially in our emotional intelligence, is knowing where we land on that spectrum. Does it take 1,000 for us? Does it take one for us? And when you know, then what you get to do is you get to see your responses much more clearly. You get to see the impact of stress and the stuff coming at you much more clearly. And when you become more self-aware, you become more emotionally intelligent, then doing things like arriving in spaces with kindness all of the time. Knowing that there's always room for empathy, always room for empathy, is absolutely true. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Drop a note in the comments.